Warning, 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 warning.
This is a Moranis broadcast. Code Red, hold on, Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 195, what? It's getting there.
We're so close.
Yeah.
So 5 away from 200, obviously.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
No. But here we are. I got a special shout out tonight.
Special shout out. Here it comes. Prepare. Oh, for later. We're saving that for later. So do listen to the whole of the show so you can hear Uncle's shout out at the end, which is very important. Yeah. It might be to you. So keep listening. Find out. Of course, we're live every Friday night on Ocelli.com, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. You can listen live on Ocelli.com. You can call in. Please call in tonight and talk to us. 319-527-5016. You can also join us on the line through Skype. Charles.Ocelli is our producer, Chuck. You can find him at charles.ocelli. Or again, call 319-527-5016. We're live, Uncle.
We're live. So, here we are, right back again. Friday night on Talking This Crazy Show.
It's crazy.
We have them ringing, and Chuck, let's get them rolling. Get our calls in.
We need those calls.
We could use some calls, and anybody who calls in, look, if just one of you calls in, you'll make Uncle happy because
one call is all I need.
Aaron got no.
All right, Eddie. Come on, Eddie.
Right. Aaron got no calls in his hour, so Uncle always feels good when he gets more calls than Aaron. So there you go. It only takes one tonight at 319-527-5016, 319-527-5016, or like Aaron just said before, charles.ocelli on Skype. Send me a message and I will drag you into the show if you wish.
Uncle, it was terrible. I had to pretend to know what Bill O'Reilly's life was like in the previous hour.
What did your premium hour act like?
I had to do it. It was awful. I had to pretend like I know how.
Not another guy you had to face with a voice problem.
I had to do it.
This guy has a voice problem. If a man is out, he is not actually good to act on someone else's show because you can't get it down right.
No.
Sidekick, you got to practice.
Do not put me in as a stand-in host on Bill O'Reilly. It would be a disaster.
I can't even do it. I got to make sure I'm not sick. Don't have the time to make the cut onto my show or to cut my show completely out unless I'm sick.
Take those vitamin D supplements, Uncle. Take them now.
I need to get some.
Vitamin E, vitamin C,
and
omega-3.
Remember that song.
What song? The song?
You know. I'm not going to say.
Oh, hey, yes. Okay.
That song. I'm just reminding you.
Uncle is giving an important reminder to me.
Yeah.
And it has to do with, we won't say what song it is, but it has to do with our Instagram game. Name that tune.
Name a tune.
I play a little song on the guitar, and you, the listener, the Instagram follower, have to guess what the original song is, the original artist who did it. You know, it's probably usually like a radio hit. Yeah. Sometimes it's an obscure, weird thing. We listened to a fun song on the radio the other day, and I was like, oh, remind me, Uncle, to learn this song and play it on there.
Right. So I'm letting him that to remind him that because we heard it, and I think it will go pretty good.
Yeah, it would be a good one. I know that it'd be a fun one to learn.
A good one because I could tell how they went, but I'm not going to say.
We won't say what it is, but look for it.
Yeah,
and look for Name That Tune. There are actually a few tunes on there that have yet to be named. So if you go back to an old one and you name it correctly, you will get the coveted prize, which is a shout out on air. Yeah. We shout you out as the winner of the game.
Right.
And that's pretty good.
And the name of the show, once again, for the people that don't know,
Uncle the podcast?
No.
Oh,
the
you're
show
talking about
I'm watching, the sword show.
Oh, Resurrection Ertegral.
Resurrection Ertegral is the name of the show.
That's on Netflix, yes.
Netflix. Mm-hmm. I'm letting everybody know.
You might want to watch that.
That'll watch that, boy. We got some action in that one tonight. There are people going crazy, fighting again.
Someone please watch it and then call into this show.
Yeah.
And then you can have a conversation with Uncle. Like, oh, yeah, remember when sword guy cut this other guy with a sword?
Yeah.
And Uncle will know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, right.
That'd be great.
I don't know. The whole movie, actually. Cause,
it's on Netflix now.
It's on Netflix now.
So most people can watch it then.
It's getting better to understand underneath the words, but...
Oh, the reading of the subtitles?
I'm trying to get to...
That's getting easier.
It's getting easier for me now, but no, that's all.
You know what I did in the previous hour, Uncle, was I reminded my listeners, and I told them for the first time, if they know, about the New Year's Revolution coming up this year, and that they should listen to it.
That's going to be coming up. I might have that. I'm going to ask old Chucky there. I said he could. Maybe if they can hold on, you go a couple more, few hours, and one or two, just in case people missed my shows.
Yeah. Now here, Uncle, I am going to have you go solo here for a minute because I do hear the children in the other room, which I need to take care of. So fatherly duty calls. No. Don't worry. You got this. A caller is sure to just call in any second, but I'll be back.
Well, besides, I'm here if you need something, Uncle. Now you're.
I know.
You're asking about a couple hours. What do you mean by that? I can hear the kids too, by the way. There's Aaron's kids in the background, so he's taking care of that.
Background doing that. I was thinking a few hours, maybe one or two, or 5 more minutes off of the our all day show, New Year's Revolution Day.
Okay.
I mean, just to know if the people miss a couple of hours, if they don't, just to call.
Okay, so you want to make it longer than 4 hours on New Year's? Is that what you're saying?
Somewhat. Yeah, I'm trying to. If I can stay up that long, I mean, that's if you could.
Well, here's what might be good is I want to begin at say 11:30. I was thinking I didn't discuss this with you guys yet. Might as well. But if we started at 11:30, now how late do you want me to go? Because you celebrate New Year's at 3 a.m. for me, right? Because there's a 3-hour difference.
Right.
So it would be, say, 11:30 to 3:30. That's your 4 hours right there. And that would be a half hour after midnight for you. How much longer do you want to
go? Would 1 more hour be okay?
I'm sure we could figure it. I'm sure we could figure it out. Listen, you want to go to 4:30? You want to go to 4 o'clock in the morning? You know, for me, is that how far you want to go? So it's an hour after.
Yeah, for an hour for the people that maybe not be able to catch it, and like they say they're working. And
I got you. Well, look, if Sidekick will do it, I'll do it. How about that?
Okay. I just was thinking about it because I think there's going to be a lot more people want to talk about this and what's been happening this full year than anything. Because we may have a lot of people calling.
Well, we usually do.
New things.
Well, we usually do, but it's been kind of a crazy year, 2020 already. Yeah, and I don't know what it's saying. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like by the time we get there. I mean, you tell me. Hey, listen, it's your show. If that's what you guys decide to do, you got to get Sidekick to agree to it, and that's what we'll do. But I got to say, I can't go any later than maybe 5.
No,
in the morning because
no more later than 5.
Because
cut it off by 4. Yeah. I didn't want to eat myself.
Well, because the sun's coming up over here, in a little while at 5 o'clock. But I'm just saying, No, good idea, but you started talking about the sword show. You want to talk about that some more, or?
Yeah. Well, if you haven't no calls yet, but so we are talking about this sword show for a minute. I was watching, and he finally made friends with sword people, and they finally got together. The father and Dubé got together, and they understood each other, and they're close, and they shook their hands. What it is, it's the other guys, people that are coming in, and they're hitting the people with their arrows, and they're saying that is not our arrow. They were talking about that today, about the arrow, and they were saying this was a dark arrow that got hit by.
Okay.
Of course, the father died because of this arrow. Just that he was outside, and there was a spy on top of the thing, and he started shooting, and he had to hit the arrow right to him.
Okay.
I mean,
so they're trying to figure out where these arrows came from, but meanwhile, it's not all swordplay and battle, because you're saying that they're trying to work out alliances here and figure out who they're. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Alliance is new guy, and now the father's died, and the son is mad at something because it's not his people, it's the other guy, Larkin. It's Larkin's people. He thinks it's Larkin's people, and I agree. I think it's Larkin's people.
Larkin?
Larkin, they call him.
Larkin is a character?
This is the actor, the name.
Oh, okay.
That they keep saying.
So just like in the real world, people are trying to blame attacks on each other, and like you got your it was really these people that attacked you, so they can cause a war to happen, like a false flag thing in the real world. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly, and this is what's going on right now.
Oh, so much intrigue.
Yeah, this is what's going on.
Wow. Okay, what a wonderful show. Yeah. So you're learning all about Resurrection Air to Grill here.
I'm learning a lot about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, look, I gotta at some point watch this. I guess.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't been able to watch it, honestly, Uncle. I've been trying to figure out a few things.
You get on that thing to listen. You get into it. You get into it. Of course, you'll have to start. Well, you go on what it's on now, but I think you can catch the beginning if you went back further. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'll have to do, because that's the one thing I'm worried about is if I get into a show like that, I might binge watch it, for like a whole weekend or something. And I'm crazy like that. I'll go through a whole, TV series in a weekend if I do that.
I do that too. That's my point.
Yes, the bingings, yes. You know what show that I started to watch that most have binge watched? And the most binging I'll do is like 2 episodes in a row, but was it The Last Dance with about the Chicago Bulls? Like the 97-98 season. You've surely heard of this, right?
Yeah.
Chuck, have you heard of it?
I saw something about it, and it's like, okay, it seems to be like the end of the Chicago Bulls dynasty with the championships, looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but no, it looks interesting. I'm not a big basketball guy, though.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really go for it. I got to tell you, I'm not so eager. I will tell you, I'm happy that there's new episodes of Archer. Have you watched?
Oh.
You guys watch Archer?
I've seen it. Had that gone off the air for a couple of years, or what happened?
Well, no, it's just like everything. There were delays, and that's the interesting thing. I wanted to get to, of course, one of Uncle's favorite topics, which is the new Top Gun movie. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now all these TV productions that were, paused for COVID, like, the Walking Dead season finale is now going to come out. I think about 10 days from now, something like that. And it was supposed to be out, around the time of the pandemic happening. So a lot of these production companies have gone back into production. Part of Hollywood, they're actually putting into the movie trailers now, hey, look, theaters are open again. They're open, in varying ways, different states. So I noticed they're floating some movies that I think are sort of test subjects, like not really the ones they spent a lot of money on. And I'm wondering how that bodes for Top Gun 2, which I'm sure they have finished. They just haven't released it because they don't know, can they get it out in the theater? Is it going to be streamed directly? Are they going to just, sell it to us at home or what?
Yep. Yeah. This whole media topic, we come back to it again and again because it's fascinating and there's so many questions they could bring it up there, Chuck. But Uncle, don't you think so? This is what in the world is it? They talk about this great reset, God help us, when it comes to the big changes. The post-COVID world are already talking about how everything's had to be different. Certainly, this is one of those things.
The culprit problem is this. They're afraid to put it out there, so if people get into a crowd like they would, when you go to a movie.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And have all these other people go.
That's why.
And this is the reason they're scared about it.
That's why everybody needs to just go on YouTube. Make your YouTube shows, like record a show in your closet like we do. Put it on YouTube. You don't have to go anywhere.
I get all that. But here's something else I want to know from Uncle. See, we all know why it is this happened and everything else, but it's created a weird world. And one of the things I know he's paying attention to, he's got to, is they just pretty much started the baseball season not long ago. And yet, we're going into the playoffs now, Uncle. Have you seen the expanded playoffs?
Baseball?
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't seen it. I haven't actually seen maybe one or two games.
Yeah. Right.
Honestly. I haven't seen very many because of what the Benix thing going on.
I haven't seen a single one.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen
I'm surprised. Ed is talking about this last week, saying that about him. He's upset about not having it in the games.
They're pulling off the football thing, and that doesn't seem to be skipping a beat other than no crowd.
The football thing is completely backwitch. It's a backflip.
Yeah,
that is completely back. That's backed up. Just a moment.
It's backed up.
We got one sport, baseball. Can't even finish the season with baseball, and here we are starting football with what? No people in the stands.
Who needs
That's
them?
what it's come to. Actually come to.
Yeah, but see, they're going to run crowd noise. They're going to run crowd noise like they did with baseball, right?
That crowd noise is not the people in the stands.
Yeah, I know it.
That's the people on the sidelines screaming and yelling, the players and all. Not them. And my sister, she's going, hey, there's a fan in the fan. There was no fans in there. And I keep telling, there's no fans in the football stadium.
There's photos of them. There's cardboard cutouts.
Cardboard cutout.
Right.
And it'd be like that for a baseball game.
Well, and they're playing tapes of the crowd noise, not just the people on the sidelines. They're playing tapes that they used to record in the stadium of the crowd making noise. So there's a tape of crowd noise running too.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that.
You know what? I was envisioning that. I was like, I'd love to see, because I imagine it's a guy at like a synthesizer, and when he presses a particular key, it's a certain kind of crowd noise. Like if somebody if the guy kicks a field goal, then there's cheering, and you got to press that key, and then that engages. Like I'd like to see the guy controlling that. That's what I imagine is how it works.
Oh yeah, there's like a live DJ guy who's got ambient sound, which is just general crowd noise, and then when things happen, he's got to actually have them cheer or boo or whatever. So he's got to keep mixing it in. Old days, we would have used a synthesizer for that. I guarantee you it's like a touchpad. Doop, 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 doop. Add it in, fade it out, bring it up, bring it down. You know what I mean?
I think that's what it is.
Probably.
I mean, yeah. Because
it sounds real, though. You don't notice a difference. So to the viewer at home, it's essentially the same experience. For the players, it has to be different.
Yeah. The players. Man, you don't believe it. But believe this or not, the fans get the players riled up.
Sure,
they do, because this is a test. The first 10 minutes, you're gonna hear, with no people talking, they're playing football, and no screaming, sounding noise.
Well, see what's kind of cool.
That isn't isn't complicated.
No, but they have the screaming noise and everything. See, here's the thing. They got those PAs in the stadiums, right? So what they can do, and I'm not sure about this. I know with baseball, though, the guys playing could actually hear the crowd a bit through the PA system. I don't know if they've done that with football, but if they do, here's the funny thing. You're playing at your home field, right? So it's probably your DJ who's mixing your crowd sound, right? So they could probably make the crowd sound, sort of help out the football players if they understand, look, if I make them cheer while they're doing this, it'll make them run a little harder and so on and so forth. So think about that, Uncle. There could be a guy sitting there trying to help his home team with the sound, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other thought. Yeah, you're right, Chuck. That's the other thought I was thinking, that if worst comes to worst, they'll have a guy, like you say, do this time sign system, and all right, let's play the music. And there goes a yelling and screaming, and he puts it up on the speaker.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the hometown advantage now comes in DJ form.
Yeah, DJ. It's a DJ. It's a DJ year. This is what it is. It's a DJ.
This is the year of the DJ because they can stream their performances on Twitch and whatnot.
Right.
They're controlling these stadiums.
They're controlling them to thinking that there's people actually in them, but they're not. But even the people at home, like my sister, she thinks there was people in the stadium. They get Joe Coe real fast.
Man, this is the year of the DJ.
Yeah, it
just
is.
Realize that.
It is. Really think about it for a moment. It is.
Yeah, but see, how are you going to replace all those crazy guys that paint themselves up with the colors of the team and dance around, like the football rave guys who go out there, if it's like Steelers, they paint themselves half black and half gold, right? And stuff like that. You can't replace those guys, and if you put in a cardboard cutout of them, I don't know, it's not going to be the same, is it, Uncle?
Well, to the people at home, it might be, but not if it was live, no.
They should just deep fake it. They can deep fake everything now. Why don't they just add that in with a deep fake CGI technology?
Would do good.
That's what they need to start doing.
Oh, that was exactly what I was thinking, Aaron. To be honest with you, that was my thought, but I didn't want to bring it up because I thought it was just a little too crazy. But hey, since you bring it up, my friend, it must not be all that bad. Meanwhile, we are going to have a caller on Skype momentarily, so hold on.
Cool.
Here we go. That's my first one. I beat you already, bub.
Now, Uncle, on this topic, they did just open up the new Raiders Stadium in Vegas.
Yeah, they had that first game.
Yeah.
Was it last Monday?
I think that's last week.
Yeah, last Monday night.
Was it Monday night? Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah,
and Monday night.
I mean, those fans are a great example of those guys who paint their faces. Oh, hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Greetings.
What we got here?
This is Robin from Victoria, Canada.
We were just talking about you, Robbie.
True.
We were just talking about you just a while ago.
We were talking about you off air, Robin, and I said, we haven't heard from Robin in a bit, and there he is.
Okay, well, here we are.
You made my night. You're the one caller made my night. This guy sidekick didn't get one.
Yeah, I had a good show. I was doing a few things around the house, so I was considering calling in, but I wasn't able to. Just give me 1 second, though. You called so quickly that I wasn't able to mute my other thing. So just talk for a moment, and I'll be back in a second. Okay?
Sorry about that, Uncle. I try to act as fast as I can to bring in callers because that's what you say you want. So I might have brought Robin in a little too quickly. Sorry about that.
Well, at least he's on. He was on for a few minutes.
He'll be right back.
He'll be right back, though.
Business and it is an interesting synchronicity there that he shows up right on cue. Right, when
it does on cue when we're talking about him. Yeah. See, that comes to mind.
It does.
You have to have your mind connected to your program.
You do.
This is your problem, sidekick.
Problem?
Yes, you got a problem.
I do. I thought I was doing everything right there for a second.
No, for reminding yourself.
Oh, of that song to play on Instagram. Got it.
Well, no, I know the song, but I'm talking about for people helping people coming in.
Robin, we have to get our minds right and help people.
Yeah.
What is the problem here? Yeah, is Aaron not living up to his uncle's standards here?
he didn't have his call. He didn't have a call in today. And
okay, well that's he was on a stream of consciousness, and
I don't know.
Others just thought they needed to listen and not speak today, I suppose.
Yeah.
Robin, did you enjoy my insanity, and which was better, the lies or the truth that I told? Or if you enjoyed it at all?
Well, yeah, it was all good, in my ears there.
Okay.
The lies and the truth, you gotta always have, and like you said, as long as you are honest about which is which, then you can keep it flowing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling a lie and you're honest about it, it's still a lie, but it's not because you're telling the truth that it is a lie. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's interesting these days. With the cancel culture, you got to be pretty explicit about what you might be joking about and whatnot. So it's good to have the exclaimer, I suppose.
We don't want to end up like Johnny Five. We don't want to be canceled just like Johnny Five was.
Who's Johnny Five?
Was Johnny Five canceled? I don't.
Yes. This came up on a show with Zach Miller. I was talking to him, and he brought up Johnny Five. I'm like, yeah, he got canceled because
saying some racist
stuff.
Yeah. Well, in honesty, the white guy playing the Indian guy in the movie was a bit off-putting, and to say the least. And I think because of it, Johnny Five is now canceled.
Okay, interesting. Well, it's been a long time since I've seen that one. I might have to revisit it.
Well, don't. You're not allowed to.
Oh, no. Okay. Not allowed to? All right. Well, maybe I'll get on them.
Johnny Five is evil.
Right.
Oh, that's when you told me.
I'll read the accepted literature about it then.
Okay. It'll live on in history as an example of what not to do.
And one of the reasons I had to call in here, because you guys were talking about the football with the crowd and whatnot, and then Chuck, and then you guys brought up playing the organ or the synthesizer, and I'm wondering if you guys know of the film Strange Brew at all.
Oh, Rick Moranis, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's when the one where they feed the mental patients this beer with some type of mind control concoction in it, and they play the organ to control them in a hockey rink, and then they play a certain other tones, and then it makes them all fight and stuff. It's a really interesting scene, or a set of scenes. But yeah, I'm wondering, Chuck, have you seen that movie, and do you remember that, or?
I vaguely remember that. Interesting that you bring up Rick Moranis, though. It's like I haven't thought about that guy in a while until I recently.
He's still alive.
No, he is. He just recently got used in one of those Mint Mobile commercials. Where it was really weird. Like I was looking at that, going, "Yeah, I didn't even realize Rick Moranis was still alive." I had the same first thought you did. It was like, "Oh, well, that's interesting." But
he's living off his Strange Brew cash, I guess.
Well, he also did that Honey, I Shrunk and I Blew Up and whatever, the kids.
Kids.
That one's big, yeah.
He was in a lot of movies there for a number of years in the 80s. He was huge, and then he just kind of disappeared. Yeah.
Dude, he was Darth Helmet.
Yeah, Dark Helmet in Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Helmet, excuse me. Yeah, in Spaceballs.
I saw an interview with him on some show where he was joking how in every role he had, he was always wearing some weird headgear. So he had the helmet in that. He had the helmet in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. If you think about Ghostbusters, he had that weird thing on his head. That Egon.
That might have been in his contract that he always wanted something because he was ashamed of his head shape or something.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
I remember this guy.
Rick Moranis is awesome, though, man. He's hilarious. I really enjoy him.
I recommend watching that one, the Strange Brew. It's pretty funny. It's a good comedy, and where they scam a brewery with the old mouse in the beer bottle chick to get more beer, and then they get roped into this big scheme because the brewery is connected to a mental institution, and it turns out that the evil mental institution guy is experimenting on
gosh.
On the inmates and whatnot, and that's where they're playing hockey and the guy's playing the organ, and it's a pretty funny movie. Yeah, recommend that one.
That was a movie version of like some sketch comedy show from Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
I was just about to bring up SCTV, which was Second City Television.
Yeah.
Show, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's where it was from. That included John Candy, Eugene Levy, a bunch of people like that. And it was one of those weird sort of things that I think only could have happened in the 80s. SCTV. I was just thinking about it. Remember they had the two Canadian brothers? I forget what their names were. Like they might have both been named Doug or whatever. And it was like
Doug and something. Yeah, Bill and Doug or something.
Yeah, and they were just so we're gonna watch hockey, eh? And we're gonna drink some beers, okay? Okay, eh? And like
there was something about a flying van that I remember. It was kind of weird.
that was Spaceballs too. They had the RV that was the spaceship.
Right. Okay.
Are we coming back to that again? Because I don't know
that I'm crossing movies or something. I think maybe they do a little bit of crossover in their film or something like that. They're making fun of it or something, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a very interesting film, and another one actually kind of connecting to last week with the Patriot fellow.
Oh yeah, Phantom Patriot. Yeah,
that was a great interview and interesting. I've never heard of that guy myself either.
Yeah, crazy, right?
There's this film. Have you guys seen this Nick Cage film from 2016 called Army of One?
No, but I'm sure I need to see it because Nick Cage is amazing.
I think that's the one I sent you on Twitter there.
Okay.
Last week or whatever it was. But
I wonder if that's on Netflix.
They're very similar.
It may be.
Not 100% sure. Yeah, I found it on the dark web or whatever you want to call it there.
Army of One. What is it, Rob? I'm sorry. What is it?
Well, I'll give you the synopsis, I suppose, here. But it's basically Nick Cage is this kind of crazy guy from Florida, I believe, who sees that they're having trouble capturing Osama bin Laden, so he decides to travel himself. He gets some type of like calling from God to travel himself to Pakistan to track him down.
Yeah, crazy.
Makes several attempts.
Let's see something.
Crazy guy from Florida is kind of redundant, though, isn't it? I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I suppose, and yeah, so he travels a number of times to attempt to capture or kill bin Laden.
I think,
and it's with Nick Cage with a kind of a pot belly and a big beard and long hair, and he's just.
Is a lady in it too?
Yeah. There's a nice lady that's like his high school sweetheart or something.
Yeah.
You might have seen this one, Uncle?
I might have.
You have seen this.
I've seen something like that, because they were going after him.
Was this recently you saw it or not?
A while.
Oh, okay.
Back, but it was on.
Okay.
I think it was on.
Could be worth a watch.
It
is. I'm going to check it out.
Somewhat based on a real guy, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I could see that being the case. Yes, I could see that being real.
So something of that.
But yeah, just that reminded me of it last week. There, the Patriot, kind of a guy getting inspired to go, fight the evils of the world.
Sure, take action into your own hands.
How is the weather up there now?
Oh yeah, well, thanks for asking, Uncle. It's been okay here. We got some of the smoke that came up for a week or so from those fires down in your area.
Oh, so
we're hoping that has that been taken care of to any degree, or still.
I watched the TV yesterday, and the Bobcat fire they said was 50% contained.
I don't think it seemed a little better.
Yeah, it's better. It's much better.
There's not much smoke in your area for the last little while?
No, not like it was. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, for us, I think the winds were blowing in a different direction for a little while, and it kind of sucked that up from down there. But we're getting some rain this week, which has been good. We didn't get any rain pretty much all summer, so getting couple of days of rain, and then next week is supposed to be nice. So, we're not doing too bad up on the island over here, Uncle.
Gotcha. Hey, I feel as though Aaron dropped the ball a little bit, though. I want to tell you why.
Uh-oh.
Because the fact that he didn't get a bunch of pictures of the orange sky or Uncle in front of the orange sky. Really, I think you fell asleep at the switch there, Aaron, because orange sky all around you for weeks, and you don't get pictures. I mean, come on, man.
The orange sky photos were ubiquitous on Instagram. It was only really fully orange further north, though. We didn't get the full orange thing, but the dark
could you
ash
look at
in
the
the
sun?
air, yes. The sun, if you took a picture of the sun, it is an odd red color. Which
I was
got a picture of
walking
that.
I was walking one morning, and his wife says, "You shouldn't even be walking out here. Staying at this orange sun."
Just wear your mask.
Walking with the dog. I said, "Well, you're not walking the dog. Somebody has to walk the dog."
Just put on the same mask we've been wearing, and you'll be fine. That'll filter out all
mask
the
for
ash.
your eyeballs.
Oh, for your eyeballs? Oh, yeah.
Looking in the sun. I'm talking about.
Maybe some swimming goggles.
Goggles, yeah.
Something like that.
Maybe
that's what I'm talking
the next
about.
time, if it gets, God forbid, but if it comes back around with the orange sun, maybe you could get one of those photos where Uncle's like holding the sun in his hands or something. Or, those ones.
Instagram classic. Uncle, we should do one of them.
Get a good one. You got to get
I
one
think
of
we
those
should just do every single like cliche Instagram photo, like Uncle doing a yoga pose, like on the edge of something. Uncle doing
I
that.
had a couple
heart hands.
You never got to it.
Yeah.
Gotta do heart hands.
Heart hands, yes. We
For
could bring back planking
for the frontline workers.
Yeah,
heart hands for the frontline workers.
Well, every single cliche photo we post will be in dedication to somebody, which is also a cliche to dedicate something to.
Right.
So we'll do that.
2012. Cody 2012.
Yes. This goes out to Cody 2012, the number one issue of our day today.
Yeah,
we got to do something.
I hope it got covered. I'm not sure. I never heard more of it, but
that Cody's going down.
I hope it got figured out.
Different.
Uncle, do you remember Coney 2012?
Not much.
You don't recall that one?
No.
It's not worth remembering. It got taken care of. Coney's gone. We're good.
Good to hear.
But that won't stop us from posting about it online.
It'd be interesting. You could look up like the top 10 Instagram post
hashtags Cody 2012
and go through those.
Yeah, that would be fun actually.
Yeah.
And go through the poses.
Wow.
But yes. Other than that, though, it's been life's been kind of puttering along up here. Not too many complaints. We're pretty safe from the COVID on the island here so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah, you're island. That's right.
Cool.
That's right.
There's no one. Small island. We do have cases though. There's like 4 cases or something active in our area that nobody's in hospital for, but so it's still people are still on edge and wearing their masks around.
It's
been more than I've seen actually lately. That people are ramping up the mask use a bit more.
Okay. It's weird how that works because even like in small communities, like in rural Pennsylvania where I'm from, my parents living in the same house I was brought up in, they had a lot of cases back there. And it's like, what? Back in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania? What's going on there? You wouldn't expect it, but there were, for the population.
From those Sturgis riders or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I heard.
I don't know.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's happening.
From your wife.
Okay, what's this news?
About Florida is wide open.
Is it super spreading?
Will be super spreading by the
They're
time.
going for the herd mentality.
Yeah, they got the bars open. Right. I heard
what's happening.
Everything.
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah, what's happened is that
this is absolutely crazy.
Is it DeSantis or something? What's that guy?
Governor DeSantis has decided to go to phase 3 of the reopening, which includes full capacity to the bars and supersedes local local rules regarding the masks and everything else. It's all gone. Florida is basically back to wide open again. And
they're going to be the first to go. I'm telling you right now.
Breaking news, you've heard it here first. Florida is a super spreader event.
It will.
Right.
Avoid it at all costs.
Do not even
Did you
go
say
there.
they're going for full capacity in their facility, in bars and stuff there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That so sounds like it. Okay. I mean, it sure sounds like it. I mean, it's sort of crazy. Opening up the bars, it's like, you know what it is.
What is
it? What it is.
What is it? I don't know.
It's that dumb president that says
he's got influence down there.
He got influence down there.
He does.
And he's in Palm Beach. They're down there. And this is what's going to happen. He's going to have so many people darn sick down there that they're going to wind up going voting, and they're all going to be spreading it.
Uncle, have you watched any of the president's rallies of late, the last week or so?
Oh, the fresh ones. I don't think I've even seen
any of those.
How are those going? I haven't watched those either. What are they like there, Robin? Fun?
Pretty comical. I've been I tap in here and there, and I'll watch a little bit. Sometimes I'll put it on 1 1/4 or 1.5 speed.
I keep
just
thinking
for a little bit of like.
What are the dingbats doing now? I keep saying.
He's a lot of rambling, a lot of kind of a lot of talk about things that really aren't too important. It's he has his way of speaking that's just it kind of seems like a bit like a drunk guy at the bar, just kind of telling stories, and he'll
exactly
go
how
off
he
on a
is.
tangent for a while, and
That's
so
exactly how he
I've definitely not been getting any value out of it. It's just kind of interesting to see every once in a while.
Well, and, we all want to keep up. We all want to keep up on the news of what the airplane ramp was like that he walked down.
Yeah, exactly. It was
how steep it was.
It was pretty slippery. It's got that metal stuff. They polished it up. It was really shiny.
Never shinier. It's never seen anything like it before. Never a shinier ramp.
I saw the guy buffing it earlier in the day.
Never seen a buffer quite like this one.
He's got a weird way of just turning everything into hyperbole, and I don't know. It's very strange. But Biden, I don't have a lot of faith in what he would do if he came into the power as well. So
now, what do you think about the situation with the debate? Will it happen? Will there be one, first of all? And if so, how do you think Biden will fare against the great orator Trump?
It is scheduled. There are debates scheduled. Yes, and one of them is the first one is next week.
Oh, boy, what a treat we have.
I think it's on the 29th, but I don't have it in front of me right now. I think it's on the 29th.
Be ready, people. Watch for the liars. Watch for the liars.
When they talk about each other, they snipe back and forth about each other doing drugs, to keep cognitively on point and stuff. I say who cares? They should be using whatever drugs they can to keep on the top of their game. Like I want my leader using the best nootropics and things to if there's a crisis, keep that guy hyped up for 22 hours a day. He's got to take care of stuff.
Nah, man, let's go past that. I want to see one of those guys straight up on methamphetamine, just totally tweaking.
Just smoke it right on stage.
Completely tweaking, and then the other guy goes, well, I got a crack pipe. Here we go. I can do this better.
I'm not talking about the drugs that will make you tweak it. I'm talking about like if we're bringing these guys up to their top shape, like they could be on the Adderall, they could be on the different nootropics that are supposedly good for your brain.
But that's why I'm saying.
reishi mushrooms and stuff.
Look, I totally understand what you're saying, but I think skip it all and go straight to the pure speed, because that would be so much more entertaining. Meanwhile, in the chat room, All Z's wants to enter the thought here, which I think is kind of funny, that right before the debate, Biden will come down with coronavirus. This is apparently Z's prediction. Just wanted you guys to know that. Okay.
Yeah. Prediction of how many are dying or living?
No. Biden won't show up to the debate because he will be infected with coronavirus and he won't be able to show up. Oh, that's the prediction.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's because he will have his mask on. What do you mean? What's his name? What's his name's not gonna? I bet you $1 that what's his name's not even gonna have a mask on.
Trump was wearing a mask last time I saw him.
Last time he had a mask, and the only time is when that lady died.
Well, no,
yeah.
He wore a mask a couple of times, but the most recent thing that we've seen on TV with him in a mask is when they were booing him while the Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg laid in repose, and people were screaming at him, kick him out, and a few other choice things from the crowd. They were not pleased to see him, and you could almost see him making that face he makes through the mask while it was happening. That's for sure. But no, not too much mask wearing. But the prediction is that Biden will drop out of the debate because he has coronavirus, and then, get well right around the time of the actual selection. So there you go.
Yeah. That would be a tactic to sneak him away. Were they going to do in-person debates, or was it going to be an online thing?
Oh, yeah.
I would think.
Gosh, I hope it's in person. Usually, even for TV shows, they're keeping people just separate as long as they're 6 feet apart, but they're in the same room. They got to be doing it that way.
No, they can easily put them.
Putting it online.
Yeah, no,
I think doing it online.
I think they can easily put them in the same room and put them, 8 feet apart or 10 feet apart, because it's only 2 people per debate. So one side of the stage, the other side of the stage, it wouldn't even be awkward. Only thing missing would be the crowd, right?
Yeah. Now the question is, would they let a crowd in, or how many? Would they be in their hula hoop circles? They set up a bunch of hula hoops.
Yeah, there's that. I don't know.
They might have a few. No, they do let a few go in at a time in the stores.
Yeah. Sure.
So I would think it would be something like that.
I don't know. It seems like Biden and Biden's people, especially, have been trying to avoid his public appearances. If that's the impression I'm getting, and I would be surprised if they really wanted him to be in a debate. But again, how do you go about avoiding that? And if there is no debate, that will be a real shame if there isn't one. I do want to see that.
They've actually resurrected the drive-in theater for some of his public appearances, where he stays back on a stage and people can pull up with their cars and watch him give a speech, by the way. So kudos to them for at least putting that back to use. And hey, wouldn't that be great, Uncle, if Top Gun 2 came out and they put it in drive-in theaters? Wouldn't that be cool?
Could happen too.
Some comedians have been doing that as well.
Yes.
Think about that a moment. That would be a very good idea.
There you go.
We'll go down there to see the movie in the car.
Yeah, because, Uncle, we have a drive-in theater in our neighborhood.
Yes, we do.
There's one very near us.
There's right down here. We could go right down if there was to happen to do that, and go right down, right into the movie theater and go watch it.
And
it's right there.
Yes. And by the way, we got about a 9-minute warning here, just to let you know the hour's almost gone, guys.
Well, it's good for this one talker.
One talker.
Right on, Uncle. Just one talker today.
Need him today.
Yeah.
Beat sidekick.
You went up the sidekick there today.
It worked.
It worked.
I'm still making it back through your book there as well, Aaron. I think I'm on the chapter of giving up all of our privacy there.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one.
It's always a bit. I don't know. There's a lot packed into that book. That's for sure.
Good. Thank you.
Well, you got
I definitely recommend everyone to read it. And Uncle, I remember I asked at one time before if Uncle ever saw the documentary. I don't think he did at that point, has he?
Oh yeah, have you seen the Age of Transitions video, Uncle? Oh, you know what? No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
You know what's interesting that I don't recall if I've brought this up on the show, but this is noteworthy, is the artwork that I put on the old DVD, because I used to press DVDs of it, and the artwork there, which is also a still that was taken from a motion graphic in the video itself. That image is like a man in silhouette, and there's like these like weird like waves coming out of his head because he's like been implanted with a brain chip is what's going on in the movie. But that silhouette is actually a photo of Uncle. That's who that guy is.
It is? Of me?
Yeah, you were on the Age of Transitions disc. The artwork was you. You had the beams coming out of your head. That was disc. You, Uncle. It was your brain that had the brain in it.
Wow.
So how about that one?
He's putting words in my mouth now, people.
Well, I put
and then that one I didn't. You went through me, went past my head.
I put a chip in your head, Uncle, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Bye-bye. You mentioned at one point in the near past that you were thinking about doing an updated version. Is that true? Did you say that? Or?
I would. I'd love to do a video.
It's a lot of work.
I'd love to do another book. I don't know if I will. I should. I'll say that I should, but I don't know if I will. I feel like one day, if I feel like I just have to do it, I'll just like sit down and I'll do it. But that day hasn't come yet.
Some event that.
Like now this has to happen. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we haven't. Maybe when the artificial wombs come onto the mass production line, then you can write a new book.
We don't know when all this.
They're not far off.
We don't know when.
No, that'll be like 2035 or something like that. We'll be pumping them out. The ladies won't want to go through the natural birth and ruin their bodies.
Uncle, that video is going to give me and then also you, I'm assuming, a lot of street cred, because we were talking about insane stuff early on that's no longer insane because it's become real now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Once you hit the QAnon stream, there, they're gonna be touting you. They're gonna be raising you up on the platform. Once Q posts the Age of Transitions video.
Well, that's one of the issues too that you bring up there, Robin. If I made this video, who is the audience? What is the platform? Who's going to watch it? Who's going to use it? Is it going to be used for some sort of weird ulterior motives? Like I think about that too. I'm like, should I even do it in this weird spot? And like, I don't know.
We're in,
yeah. It's like I kind of take that as part of it too. I'm like, is it the right time? Or I don't know. I don't know. That's part of the thought process though too. I got to say.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. Well, thanks for taking my call today, guys. And I recommend checking out those two movies there, the Strange Brew and Army of One, if you're able to.
Thanks for the recommendations.
Great to chat. Glad you're feeling better from your short illness, whatever that happened to be. And good to talk to you guys again. We will chat in the near future.
All right. Okay. Thanks for being here, Robin. Take care, man.
All right. Cheers. See you, Chuck.
Here you go.
Take care, Robin.
And Victoria. Uncle, now an important part that you promised at the beginning of the show, you're going to give a special shout out to somebody.
Shout out to Guy. I gave you the number and my letter to know the time to call. So I just said, and a shout out to you then. That was a special shout out for you to tell you.
Shout out to you, Guy. You received the special shout out of the night.
And special one other person, the one that passed away.
Bear.
I always have to say pass him.
Shout out to the late Paul Bear Vasquez.
All right.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Those are the shout outs. Two good shout outs for tonight. Let's see if I have a shout out. Shout out, I'll say to Self the Poet. I've been seeing him, obviously, in real life quite a bit. He's been promising to call in. He hasn't yet. I don't know. So I'll really try to convince him to call in one night. This would be great. Also, shout out to Winston Conrad, who will be on the show next week as our guest. So do listen next week live. Winston. If you want to talk to Winston, you can call in and ask him a question. He's got a new comic coming out that he worked on that we have. And
is that the guy with the shirt guy?
You remember Winston?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you know him.
Winston.
You know him. Yeah.
I remember him.
He's gonna be here next week.
You gonna get him in?
He will be here. Yeah, that's a plan. So something to look forward to for all of us.
Winston on it.
Should be good.
The only time I heard from him.
Mm-hmm. So there's a little shout out and foreshadowing of next week for everybody here listening to the show. Chuck, are you there?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention here at the end that everybody should get ready for Uncle's New Year's Revolution. Now, Aaron, you didn't hear the discussion we had while you were away, but it sounds like Uncle wants to take it to 4:30 in the morning my time. So I told him, look, we could start at 11:30, so that way we get the New Year's, announcement on the East Coast and go to 4:30 in the morning. If that's what he wants to do, I told him you had to agree to it, and that I will do as you guys request. So people should be ready, though, and make sure they got the phone number because a lot of people are going to be calling in, and I want to make sure everybody gets heard. They can talk about their resolution. They can talk about, the year that was 2020, the dumpster fire that it was. And I think everybody should get prepared because it's not too far away. We're going to be in October very, very soon. And the revolution is a-coming.
It is. I know. That's what was on my mind, Chuck. And I realized I have to start working on this. So I'm going to start doing that. I've got some good ideas already, Uncle. It's going to be fun.
Well, you can put them on air. Or
it's going to be
on
good.
Paper to put on air.
I know.
That's what I meant.
I'm going to start putting the ideas on paper.
So would that be okay for you?
I can do that. Yeah, I mean, that's okay.
I'm not going 5 because it'd be too big for Chuck.
Yeah, we'll just do an extra half an hour or shift it or whatever.
To 4.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You gotta have some sleep.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to harm our producer. We'll go easy on him as much as possible with such an insane event. Yeah. But it's gonna be fun. Everybody needs to listen that night. We'd love it if you call in. I've got some good ideas already, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun with it, and I'm going to start working on this soon. I'm gonna start getting the graphics together, getting the material ready.
Well, when you get that done, and also send out your paper.
Your papers are going out. Those papers are going out.
You sell out to these people.
I'm
add that to it.
I'm gonna sell out to everybody.
You got my cards to go and all them other things.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be out there, Chuck. Don't worry.
Get ready. It's going to be a street cream extravaganza.
Action going.
Okay, so Uncle the Podcast is our website. Ocelli.com. Every Friday night we're live. On social media, it's at Uncle Podcast. That'd be for Instagram and Twitter.
Active.
Do follow us. That's us, Uncle. Listen to the podcast. Subscribe, share. The numbers are looking good, Uncle. We're going up. They're climbing.
Oh, yeah.
Write those reviews. We're at good numbers. That's where we're at. Better. Definitely the numbers are higher, Uncle. It's looking good. So keep that up, everybody.
Talking. I had this other shout out guy I mentioned. He's the Knight
in White Satin.
White Satin.
Shout out to Knight in White Satin.
That was a student in Chapman.
Shout out Knight in White Satin at Chapman.
I think it was his name. Cool. He had a new one. I meant to tell him.
Is that and shout out, as the chat room is saying, to the SJWs and to the Antifas and to Newt Gingrich. I concur. I second that. And shout outs where shout outs are due. Anything else before we get going here tonight, Uncle?
That should do.
Okay. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.